Hello.
Kiran, can you able to hear us?
Yes, yes.
Suresh, can you able to hear us?
Yep.
And we have 1 minute to go for live. And Suresh, Kiran will be the host for the day.
Sure. Yep.
Okay. So Kiran, in next 1 minute you'll start it. I'll start the broadcast and you can presume with the starting introduction. Yeah, sure. Thank you. Guys, I'm starting the webinar now. So Kiran, up to you for over to you for the introduction.
Hello. Very good afternoon. Hello. Good afternoon and welcome everyone to today's webinar. Thank you to each and every one of you for being here with us today. We extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you joining us today for this instructive webinar. This is Kiran, CMO for Increasal. We are a leader in software industry from past successful 12 years dedicated to delivering innovative solutions to our esteemed clients that empower their business to succeed. As we pursue more awareness and understanding on SAP new upgrades, today the webinar session is on advanced intercompany sales. There will be a dedicated Q&A session at the end. Meantime, you can submit all your queries in a Q&A session. So at the final 15 minutes of Q&A session, this will be addressed. Without further delay, let me welcome our today's webinar presenter, Mr. Suresh Kola, consultant for Increasal to continue this session. Over to you, Suresh.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Kiran. Yeah, and thanks every one of you for joining this session. Okay. So as part of this session, we are going to learn about the advanced intercompany sales, which is introduced in the S4HANA 2022 version. Okay. So the today's agenda is, so we are going to run the overview of it and key features of the advanced intercompany sales, monitor value chains, which is a fair application, valuated stock in transit, which is being used in the advanced intercompany sales, master data that is needed to run the advanced intercompany sales, and business process execution. Then we'll go with the Q&A session. Okay. So, yeah, we know that, right? So, intercompany business processes comprise the business transactions, okay, that takes place between two affiliated companies belonging to the same corporate company. Okay. So, for example, a sales office sells to a customer and the goods are delivered from the plant which is assigned to the another company code. Generally, we have different company codes, right? Since there's a different registration for that. So maybe there's a such requirement where you receive the customer order for one company and you deliver it from another company. That scenario will be covered as part of the advanced intercompany sales. Okay, so a standard sales order can initiate the entire process, which is integrated into the value chain monitoring. So as I said, there's a value chain monitoring for a FAIRY application which has been given by the SAP. Okay, in which we can see the entire scenario. Okay, it will be the base for running the advanced intercompany sales scenario. Okay, so for the transfer of control of goods between two affiliated companies and the customer, the system uses the valuated stock in transit. Okay, so we'll see what valuated volume chain monitoring and what valuated stock in transit. Okay, so before that, let us look at the old structure. Okay, it's a classic intercompany sales functionality which is available in the ECC system. Okay, so it was like, as you can see here, so you might receive the order from the customer, and that would be at the right side. You can see the company 1010, which is a selling company. So as and when you receive the order from the customer, Okay, that will be placed in a selling company, and then the order is placed. The requirement will be given to the company. 1710, which is a delivering company. So here the ordering party, the sales order gets created in the selling company, and that the stock will be moved from the delivering company, right? So here we hardly have limited documents which might not suitable for the audit point of view. Okay, there would be n number of questions to be answered by the auditors or any legality point of view. So here we just create a sales order, then we'll go with the we can follow this. The customer has a purchase order that will be converted as a sales order in the selling company. Then okay, then you will do a outbound delivery. You can see the number 3 here. So that will be performed from the delivering company plant 1710. Okay, then you will dispatch the good from the same plant code. Okay, so once it is done, then you will bill the customer from the selling company. Then the delivering company bills the selling company. So the process will be ended over there. So there is no further documents will be created to face the auditors or any legal questionnaire. Okay, so this was the old classic intercompany sales. Okay, if we look at the advanced intercompany sales, there are other activities are performed by the system itself by using the value chain monitoring of your application. Okay, if you take the customer order, the customer may have a purchase order which would be converted as a standard sales order in the selling company, and that would be passed on to the intercompany purchase order. Okay, so once the intercompany purchase order is created to the delivering company, that will be converted as an intercompany sales order in the delivering company. So let me repeat it again. Okay, once you receive the order from the customer, then you have to raise a purchase order to the delivering company. Okay, then against the purchase order of the selling company, it will be converted as a sales order in the delivering company. Okay, once the sales order is completed, then you will make a outbound delivery from the delivering company's plant. Then you will do a goods issue. Then there will be a stock transfer from 1710 to 1010. So once it is received in the delivering plant, so it is just a virtual activity which is done in the system itself, and maybe there would be a physical transaction or not, but it will be a technical transaction only in the SAP system. Okay, once this activity is completed, then you will go for the customer billing. Once the billing is completed, then it will create a supplier invoice. Okay, so this is how the flow runs in the SAP system as part of the S4HANA 2022 version. Okay. Yeah. Next thing is key features. Okay. So we can see that the key features of the advanced intercompany sales are, so it is a seamless end-to-end process and highly automated and embedded into the following areas. Okay, this would be suitable for the product compliance, trade compliance, profitability reporting across legal entities, and it will support the IFRS 15 standards. Okay, it is a international financial reporting standards and revenue recognition and COGS. Okay, so this functionality meets this IFRS 15 compliant process. Okay, so at the same time, it also supports the product costing, reporting, and consolidation. Okay, changes in customer facing sales are possible and automatically managed by the system. So as I said, the process remains same. The user interface for the end user will be same. So like ECC system, but in the background system automatically creates the required documentation on its own. Okay, so that is the highlight and beauty of the advanced intercompany sales in the S4HANA 2022 version. Okay, then valuated stock in transit in the selling company. So we'll discuss in the next slide. And purchase order in the selling company. So it will create the purchase order in the selling company on its own based upon the sales order, and end-to-end value chain and process monitor. So by using the value chain monitoring for your application, you can see the end-to-end functionality, the process, business process that is going on between these two. Okay. Next thing is monitor value chains. So as I said, It will be a Fiori application which will be used to track all the relevant steps of the advanced intercompany sales. Okay, so this app provides you with the detailed overview of the relevant steps and the documents in the process. Okay, yeah, the key features of monitor value chains is, so display the end-to-end business process as a list or a graphical flow diagram on the document. Okay, so if you open the Fiori application, we can see the detailed view of the each transaction, intercompany sale transaction. You will find a flow of it. Okay, we'll see that in the real time, live run only. And it display the IDs of the sales orders, intercompany sales orders, and intercompany purchase order. So as I said, so the process which was running in the ECC system, that remains same in the S4HANA system as well. But the process which is integrated with the value chain monitor Fiori application will be on its own. Okay. So display the IDs of outbound deliveries. Okay, we can see that information also. Display the IDs of material documents for goods issue or goods receipt. So as I said, so the advanced intercompany sales process is using the value to stock in transit functionality. Okay, so the track of the material document entry will also be captured under the monitor value chains, and display the ID of the intercompany customer invoices. Okay, customer invoices and intercompany supplier invoices. So as I mentioned, this value monitor value chains query application will show the entire transactions which are involved in the advanced intercompany sales. Okay, so we can analyze and resolve the business process errors based on the details provided by the application. So it is not just to view the transactions, but also helps us to resolve the issues, whatever the issue given by the background issues. Okay, background process. And reprocess business documents manually in the case of errors. Okay. So in this case, we can also use this query application to identify the issue, and that helps us identify the root cause of the issue and resolve the issue. Okay, then you can cancel a document in the business process. You can also have a flexibility to cancel the documents as well. Okay, so likewise, so you can trigger the document processing manually and navigate to related apps for additional details of processing document. So there will be a hotspot provided in the Fiori application where you click on it, then that will navigate you to the relevant document. Okay. So for that, we have to ensure that the Fiori applications of the related transaction to be activated. We have to make sure that. Then valuated stock in transit. Okay. So let us go through the fundamentals of the valuated stock in transit. Okay, so stock in transit refers to those goods that have left the physical plant, but the control of them isn't transferred to the buyer. Okay, when the stock moved out of the plant location, still the ownership of the product remains with the delivering, location only. Yeah, delivering entity only. So that is what the valuated stock refers. Okay, these goods are still in the control of the company that ships the goods and are still part of the valuated stock of the company. So as I mentioned, the advanced intercompany sales use this valuated stock in transit, wherein the stock is being delivered from the delivering plant. However, the responsibility and the ownership of the goods will remains with the delivering company only. Okay. And when companies drop their balance sheet according to the International Financial Reporting Standard 15, they must fulfill the matching principle. The matching principle states that the expenses should be recognized in the same period as the associated revenue. Okay, at the time of revenue booking, you should also have the cost booking also. Okay, so uh, yeah. So revenue is recognized when the goods are handed over to the customer at the mutual agreed place of delivery. Okay, provided that the contractual agreements are fulfilled. Okay. Yeah. Let's take an example of the valuated stock in transit. stock in transit. The use of valuated stock in transit is not required if the risk is transferred directly. For example, if you take the Incoterm EXW, X work, so the transfer of risk takes place with the goods issue in the delivering plant. This means the control is completely transferred to the buyer. Okay, whosoever the customer is, the ownership of the stock will be given to the buyer only. Okay, if there is any damage or whatever, so that has to be paid with the buyer only. Okay, so in case of free carrier delivered at place, in that case, the value or the ownership of the stock won't be transferred to the buyer immediately unless it is completely delivered at a buyer location. Okay, so this is what the difference between the valuated stock in transit functionality by taking the Incoterm EXW as well as the free carrier and delivered at place. Okay, so then we'll go with the master data. Okay, so as we know that the master data is a key point to trigger any functionality. Okay, for which we need the master data for the advanced intercompany sales. Okay, so likewise, we can see the list of the master data that is needed. So we can see the supplier representing the delivering plant. Okay, here we have to create a supplier that is to represent the delivering plant, because we have to create a purchase order, right, in the selling company. For this reason, we have to create a delivering plant as a supplier. Okay, in this case, you assign the delivering plant 1710 to the supplier that represents the delivering plant. The process remains same that we use in the ECS system. You have to assign the supplier of the plant in the maintain shipping data for plant, right? So in the same way, you have to assign it. There's no much difference in the process point of config point of view. Okay, so then this supplier is used in the selling company 1010 for the supplier in the intercompany purchase order. So this supplier has to be extended to the company, the selling company. Okay, so that the purchase order can be raised from the selling company to the delivering company. And the supplier, so as I mentioned, the supplier master must have the purchasing view. Okay, unless the purchasing view exists, it won't create the purchase order, and it leads us to the errors. Okay, so we have to ensure the master data is maintained properly before executing it. And you set the assignment in the supplier master. Okay, so since it is an S4 HANA system, right, we have to maintain a role FLVN01 as a supplier. Only then system is able to identify the supplier code. Then supplier master must have the company code data maintained in the selling company. Okay, we have to ensure that the master data is maintained properly. Okay. Next thing is the supplier number must be maintained in the field supplier in the customer master. So here we have to map the supplier code of the supplier code to the customer master that represents the sales organization in the delivering plant. Okay, so this master will be used for as a invoicing party there. Okay, we'll see that in the transaction level. Then customer representing the transit plant. Okay, here in this activity, you assign the customer master that represents the transit plant. Okay, so as we mentioned, there are two plants are involved. Okay, so for the advanced intercompany sale, we have to use one transit plant to represent the complete sales cycle to the customer, as well as the delivering plant. Okay, the delivering plant takes care of the dispatch activities, whereas the in transit plant takes care of the master data which is required for the material for audit for that, and as well as for the audit and cost booking activities. Okay, then the customer master must have the sales area view maintained in the sales area 1710 10 and 00. So this is a this is being used by the delivering company. Actually, you have to make a note of the company and the sales areas. Okay, 17 series stands for the delivering company, and the other one 1010 stands for the selling company. You have to make a note for a better understanding. Okay, so this customer must be extended to the sales area 1710 1710 Okay. In our example, we have taken this as a sales area. In your case, that would be different. Okay. So at the end, we have to mention that this customer is extended, right? This master will be used to create a sales order in the delivering company. Okay, so this is a generalized information. Like once you maintain this, customer into the sales area, you obviously maintain this customer into a company code data to book the revenues against it, right? Then to assign the customer number to the plant 1010, please use the transaction OVAA. Okay, or else you can go with the below path. So this is just like an activity that you do in the EC system for the STO as well as the intercompany sales. The process remains same for the advanced intercompany sales as well. Okay, customer representing the sales organization of the delivering plant. Okay, here in this activity, you assign the customer number that represents the sales organization 1710. This is the delivering company's sales organization of the delivering company 1710. Okay, the customer number is used to determine the supplier number that is used to create the intercompany supplier invoice. As I mentioned, so this number, whatever the customer code that you assign for the sales organization, that will identify the invoicing party. Okay, from the corresponding master. For that, we have to use this customer code. Okay, the customer number is not used in any sales order or customer invoice. So as I mentioned, the supply number is determined from this field supplier in the respective customer field. So we have a customer field in the master data, right? If you open the customer master, you will find a vendor field, right? In a control data. In the same way, you will find a vendor field in the customer master under control tab. Okay, so in which we have to map the corresponding vendor to the customer. Okay, so this is just a thing. Okay, then once the master data is created, we have to ensure that master data is the customer master is assigned to the sales organization. Okay, we have a path, right? Sales and distribution. Under sales, you go to the intercompany billing, then define internal customer number by sales organization. This is where you have to assign the customer code. Then material master. So far we have completed the customer master and the vendor master, which is required for the advanced intercompany sales. In the same way, we have to also have the material master to be extended to the both companies and into the relevant views. Like you have a sales views in the selling
Yeah, I
company
noticed it
as well
working
as
for my iPhone also. It's working perfectly.
yeah. Guys, can you just mute yourself? Yeah. Okay. So material master must be available. So whichever the material that is taking place for the intercompany sale transaction, we have to have that material available in both the companies and in the relevant plant codes. Okay, then we'll go with the sales organization view. In order to make a sale transaction, we know that the material should be extended to the sales views. Okay, so this is required in the both companies, in the delivering company as well as in the selling company, because the sale order is being created in the selling company as well as in the delivering company. Then sales plant view. Okay, to be defined for the delivering plant and to be defined for the transit plant and purchasing view. So purchasing view should be available in the selling company, because we have to raise this purchase order to the delivering company, right? For that reason, we have to extend this material in the purchasing view. Okay, then storage location view. So this is a normal thing. We have to extend that material into the required storage location view also of the delivering plant, unless the system won't be able to determine the stock for it. Okay, to be defined for the transit plant, then MRP2 view. Okay, in which we have to assign a storage location that should be used in transit plant into the field storage location. storage location external procurement. So SAP has make use of this field to determine the storage location for it. Okay. Then accounting view. Okay, so let me show you that. Okay, maybe you'd be getting confused by looking at the slides. Let me show you the same in the SAP screen then. Okay, so here you can see there's a field, right? Storage location for external procurement, in which we have to mention the required storage location. Okay, so as and when the transaction is taken place, then the system identifies the storage location from this area. Okay, so in the same way, we have to extend the to the relevant sales views. So as of now, I have used that for the 1300 as a sales organization. So in which this material is extended. Okay, and we have to ensure that the material is extended to the accounting view of the delivering plant, because the stock movement has to be done and the inventory accounts to be booked, right? So to be defined for the transit plant in 1010, as I mentioned, that system is using the value to stock in transit, in which the stock movement is taken place in the transit plant. Okay, so as and when the goods are left the delivering company, then the inventory accounting entry will be realized in the transit plant code. Okay, for that reason, we have to ensure that the views are extended properly. Okay. Next thing is purchasing price in the selling company. So we have to mention that the purchasing price. So since we are taking the stock from the delivering company, we have to maintain the selling price of the purchasing price in the selling company. Okay. So that is nothing but you have to go to the MEK1, or you can maintain the price in the ME11 of a purchase info record. Okay. Let me show you that also. Okay, I've just mentioned the net price of the product. Okay, so like this, we have to maintain the purchase info record, or you can directly create the condition record using the MBK1 transaction. Okay, then purchase info record in the selling company. So as I mentioned, so this is what we have to do. These are the mandatory information, right, to create the purchase order. So for that reason, we have to ensure that master data is maintained properly to run a seamless and flawless transaction in the background. Sales price in the selling company. Okay, so we have to ensure that the price has been maintained in the selling company. So because we are giving a stock to the customer, right? For this reason, we have to maintain the selling price. Okay, and sales price in the delivering company. So since the transaction is taking place, right? The delivering company is giving to the selling company. In that case, we have to maintain the selling price of the delivering company. Okay, so there are two cases, right? One is selling company to delivering company to selling company, and selling company to customer. For that reason, we have to maintain these prices. Next thing is assign tax code. We know that the bare minimum tax codes are required, right, for the supplier invoices. So we have to ensure that the tax code is assigned before making a supplier invoice there. Okay, for that reason, we have to maintain the tax code. Let me show you that. So SAP has given one SM30 view table. So this was the existing one only. So SAP has reused it for us for the intercompany sales aspect. Let me show you that this view. Okay. So this is where you have to maintain the country of the country and the tax code. So whichever the country that is involved in the intercompany sales, against which we have to mention the tax code, so that the process which is running in the background will identify the tax code from here, and it will process the supplier invoice. So without which it will lead us to the error. Okay, make a note of it. It is MRM underscore V underscore EDI underscore tax. And you can also find this the mapping in the purchase view, purchase activities. Okay, the SPRO path. If you go to the material management under logistics invoice verification, you will find the advanced intercompany process, which is a new node in the S4HANA 2022, and assign the tax codes for the transfer of supplier invoices. Okay, let me show you that. So this is where you will find the advanced intercompany sales process. Okay, here you have to assign the tax codes. So that will lead us to the same view. Okay. Okay. So in order to run the supplier invoice in the background, we have to ensure that there are a bare minimum requirements and the inputs to be mapped in the background. Okay, for which we have to configure program parameters and configuration IDs. Okay, the path remains same. You have to map the configure program parameters and assign program parameters. Let me show you that. So here we have to maintain the default values, like what is the invoice document type used for the intercompany sales, supplier invoice, and what would be the credit memo document in case you have to issue the credit memo, and the other settings. So these can be left blank for our process. Okay, if there is any additional needs, then you can go with these. Okay, in the same way, we have to mention the assign program. Okay, so this would be the primary activity. After that, you have to maintain the values against it in the previous node. Okay, so these are the bare minimum prerequisites to make a a flawless supplier invoice in the background. Then we'll go with the business process execution. Okay, first, what we do, we'll create a sales order against the, from the selling company to the customer. So once you receive the order from the customer, then you have to create a sales order in the SAP system, in which you have to mention the, delivering plant by replacing the actual delivering plant. Okay. So here I have taken the delivering plant from the other company. Okay, so that system has displayed the transit plant in the other field. Okay, this field was not available in the ECS system. Okay, this is a new thing, and this will be visible only in the case of advanced intercompany sales, that too in the version 2022. Okay, so we'll see that how exactly it reacts in the SAP system. Okay, let me try creating a sales order. Let me enter the this is the selling sales area and the sales order type, in which I assign this is the customer from whom I received a sales order. Okay, then I mention the order which is requested by the customer. Let me get into the shipping data here. So ideally, this is my delivering plant. Okay, which belong to the selling company. However, let's say there would be different cases where the stock won't be available, or that has to be always procured from the delivering company. So in that case, you have to replace it with the delivering plant. Okay, which is from the delivering company. As soon as I enter it, so you would be able to see the transit plant here. Okay, you can see that. So this is a transit plant, right? So as I mentioned, this would be useful for the inventory accountings and for the audit point of view, and to gather the required information for the transaction processing. Okay, let me save it. You cannot directly deliver from here, since there are some activities to be performed by the SAP, so that you have to save it first, then you go for the delivery. I'm creating it. Okay, so sales order has been created, against which system creates a purchase order in the background. Let me show you that in the document flow section. See here, system has created a purchase order in the background, against which system converts this purchase order into a sales order in the delivering company. Let me show you that in the value monitor change fair application. Okay. Uh, so this is the application, fair application. Click on it. Okay. Here we have to if you have any any stages you want to filter, or else if at all you want to adapt the filters, you can select it here. Okay. For time being, I'm just click on go directly. So this is the order which has been created just now. You have to click on it so that you will be able to find the data there. Okay. So this is the order, right? Sales order against which system has created. So as soon as the sale order is created, in the background, system has created a purchase order as well as the sales order number in the delivering company. If at all you want to see the process flow, you have to click on a process flow section. Then you will find a process flow thing here. Okay. So here sales order has been created against which purchase order has been generated in the selling company, against which sales order has been created in the delivering company. And it also shows that the outbound delivery is pending here. Okay. Let me create a uh, okay. Let me create a delivery from SAP system. So this activity to be performed by the end user, and he doesn't know what are the activities being done in the background. So that's why, to avoid the conflict for the end user to getting confused, so system is doing this activity on its own in the background. Okay. So let me create a delivery against it. Okay. Here I have to enter the picking quantity. Then you won't find the post goods issue directly because system has to run some background activities. Okay. Since it is using the the monitor value change fair application, right? So we have to save it. Then go for the change mode and click on goods issue here. As soon as you create goods issue here, system creates almost 5 entries in the background. Let me show you in the document flow section. Okay. So valuated stock in transit and issue delivery, then goods receipt in the transit plant. Then it is moving into the valuated stock in transit. Then it will do the goods issue to the customer. So these are the 5 steps initiated by the SAP system as soon as you perform the post goods issue. The same can be seen in the fear application. Okay, I just reloaded it here, so you can find the next flow here. Okay, let me make a slide changes. Let me zoom out. Okay, see. So sale order has been created. Okay, purchase order, then sales order. As soon as you create an outbound delivery and you perform the post goods issue, right? System has created the 5 entries. Okay, material document 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 entries are there, right? So we can see that the entries in the SAP system. Let me open it here. Okay, this is what the entry. So as I mentioned, SAP Intercompany Sales is using the valuated stock in transit approach, for which stock is moving within the plant into the valuated stock in transit. Okay, for which SAP is using the movement type 687, which is a new movement type in the S4HANA. You won't find this movement type in the ECC system. Okay. So if this movement type is missed in the your current running S4HANA version, you have to check whether this is not available in your current client. Then you have to refer the client 000, which is a original config that is delivered by the SAP. Okay, you will find it there definitely. Okay. Click on document info, then look at the FA transaction here. Okay, this activity is taken place in the delivering plant. So it is moving its stock into a valuated stock in transit entry so that you have internal entry here. Okay, let me come back from here. Then go for the goods issue delivery. Okay, here let us go to the, so here SAP has used the moment type 601, which is a outbound delivery moment type. If you click on FI documents, go here. Here the post goods issue COGS and the inventory account gets hit here. Okay, so this is how the inventory accounting is taken place in the delivering plant. Come back from here, then go to the goods receipt material document. Okay, so here, so since if you take the example from the classic intercompany sales in the ECC, so there is no such goods receipt entry, right? Okay, so the goods and receipt entry will be created in the S4HANA system. Okay, so which would be a 101 moment that is initiated by the monitor value chains functionality. Okay, so you can find the receipt entry as well. So you can find the goods issue entry there, and you can see the goods receipt entry in the selling company. So you'll find the both the documents for inventory auditing point of view. Okay, let me go to the financial document. Okay, you can see here system has hit the inventory account, then it hit the GRIR entry. Okay, so there system has entered the COGS there. So as to book the cost of goods sold, here it is hitting the inventory account as if it is purchased stock from the delivering company. Okay, so that you would be able to track your material ledgers and for ease of processing. Then let me come back from here. As soon as the stock is received in the transit plant, that has to be transferred into the valuated stock in transit. For this reason, system has made a self entry here that remains same. Okay, it is using the 687, which is a new movement type in the S4HANA system, and it is moving the stock into the valuated stock in transit. The entry remains same. It will be into the goods purchased. Okay, inventory account. Okay, then we'll go with the last material document. If you open it here, you can see here system has issued the stock to the customer, the final buyer. Okay, here if you click here, you can find the inventory account and the COGS. In the previous entry, COGS is made against the delivering plant, selling plant, and here delivering plant is booking the COGS to the customer entry. Okay, so this is how system makes the entries in the background. Okay, so now what else is pending we can see here. Okay, so we are yet to create the customer invoice and the intercompany customer invoice. Let me go with that. If I enter, the first one is system takes us to the customer invoice. If I save it, that will be updated here. Okay, so customer billing is completed. Then I have to do a intercompany customer invoice. Let me enter the number again, delivery number, and I press enter. Then now system is creating a intercompany invoice. Okay, with reference to which system creates a supplier invoice in the background on its own. Okay, let me save it. Okay, system has created sales invoice, customer intercompany invoice. Let me reload it here. Before that, you won't find any entry here, right? If I reload it, then system picks up the supplier invoice here. See, this is the intercompany customer invoice against which supplier invoice has been created, right? Okay. So this is how the advanced intercompany sales functionality works in the S/4HANA system. Okay. So here user won't find any difference in that. Okay. So because he creates the sales order usually, he creates a delivery usually, he will create a billing usually, and the customer intercompany customer invoice also he will create in a usual basis only. But the activities are taken place in the background with the monitor value chains query application, and he doesn't know what is happening in the background. So he'll do the activities in a daily basis. Okay. So this is what the beauty of the advanced intercompany sales, and it will compete with the audit perspective, right? So let me show you these transactions in the SAP system. Okay, let me open this. We have created two invoices, right? Let me go with the intercompany sales invoice, and I'll open the other invoice. Okay, what was that number? Let me take from here, from the document section. I'll go to the billing inter customer invoice. It is 186, right? You will find a slight difference here. So the customer invoice is created with the reference document remains same. We have used the common delivery number. However, system updates the sales document as a customer order. Whereas in the intercompany sales order, you will find the intercompany sales order. Okay, it is not the customer order. It is a intercompany sales order. Okay, you can see it is a 39 and it is 40. Okay, if you click here, you will find the delivery and the sales order. In the same way, you will find the delivery and the sales order. Okay. So likewise, this information will be updated in the document flow section, as well as this can be tracked under the monitor value chains for your application. Okay. So let me show you the purchase order once. Let me go to the sales order. It's a purchase order which is created in the background. So system has taken the supplier, okay, the delivering plant a supplier has been taken, so which has been maintained under maintain shipping data for plant. Then it will take the info record which was created. Okay. Then it will pick up the price from the MEK1 transaction record. So it was 100, right? Either it picks from the MEK1 or from the material info record. Okay. So against which system has created a supplier invoice, right? So this has been taken place, the goods receipt in the in transit plant taken place. So that will be updated here. And if you look at the invoice receipt, it will be created. So if you see here, the sales org partner has been taken from the partner code which is assigned to the sales organization. Usually you assign the customer code there, right? So in the background, we have a vendor code updated in the master. Let me open this. Okay, let me go to the control data. Sorry, vendor general data. Here we'll find a customer, right? If you open this, you will find the vendor number in that. Okay, let me go to customer role, customer general data. You will find the supplier. So system identifies the sales organization customer first, then it will pick up the supplier code from this field. Then it will pick it as a invoicing party. Okay, let us see the follow-on document here. So we can see that the I0 was maintained in the SM30 table, right? That has been picked up from there, and it has created the supplier invoice. So, and if you see the payment details, like so document type which was mentioned in the table, SM30 table, and invoice party from the sales organization customer. And if you go to the following documents, you will see the supplier account gets credited and the GRIR gets debited. Okay, so this is how we can create the entire process with the help of monitor value chain sphere application. Okay, so there are few prerequisites which have to be set up in the background, which is an additional configuration in the S4HANA system to streamline this process. Okay, this session will be, no, we can catch up this in the next session. Okay. So this is how we can see the complete document flow in the monitor value chain app, right? We have seen it already. Let me show you again. Yeah. This is how we can see the complete process flow here. Right? So it has created sale order, purchase order, sale order, delivery, customer invoice, intercompany invoice, and supplier invoice, goods receipt. Complete activity can be tracked under the monitor value chains for your application. Okay. We've seen all this stuff. Okay. So now I think, yeah. Hassan, can we move for the Q&A session now?
Yeah, we have last 10 minutes right now, Suresh. So if you have anything
Okay, then.
else to discuss, you can discuss right now.
Okay, then.
Later,
So,
we can. I think we can take at least 5 more minutes exceeded. No worries.
okay, then. Okay. So let me update. Let me explain how exactly the monitor value chains functionality works. So as you can see here, we are able to see the processing stage here, right? So for the current transaction we have run is just a happy flow. Okay, there's no any error which has to be tracked and to be resolved, right? But how do you do it? Okay, if you look at the monitor value chains, there are other transactions which are under pending stage. If you open it, you will find what else to be pending. Okay, for further activity. So here, so it is pending for the customer invoice. Okay, this is how you can track the status of the each transaction. And what if there are any errors? You can track the errors as well. If you see here, system says that processed with errors. Okay, if you click here, you will find what is the error and in which phase you have received it. So this error has occurred in the supplier invoice. If you click here, you will find the further details of it. Okay, let me go to the message log section. If you click here, you will find the list of errors which are occurred while processing the supplier invoice in the background. System says that uh, see the log details. Okay. Let me show you other error. This is just a generic error which we can see there. Okay. So as you can see here, system says that not able to determine the tax code. So, so as I mentioned, we have some prerequisites, right, in which you have to maintain the default values in the configuration. Okay. So that has to be maintained properly for errorless transaction. So in the same way, system is asking for the program parameters, which we have seen in the previous slide, right? So like that, so system identifies whichever the activity is missing, and it will guide you what to do. If you click on this document section, right, so it will show you. Let me just resize it. Okay, so this is how it will give you with the help information, same like you have in the SAP system. Okay, so it says that program parameters for supplier have not been set. So for which it is saying that maintain program parameters for EDI intercompany process in the invoice verification configuration. So we have seen that path, right, just now. So we have to go there and we have to maintain it. You can, or else you can maintain the SM30 directly. Okay, so like this, system shows the issues in the monitor value chains. Okay, so in the same way, you also have some certain background jobs which you can schedule in the background. There's a separate application, so we can see that in the next week. Okay, in which you can maintain a background job which will take care of these basic issues which have to be resolved on its own. Okay, system will pick it up, and let's say we have seen that the system is unable to determine the tax code for the supplier invoice, right? So post assignment in the SM30 table, then the batch job triggers and it will identify the tax code. Then whatever the errors which are relevant to the same error, it will perform on its own and will resolve the issues on its own. Okay, this is what the new thing in the S4 HANA system with the other Fiori application. Okay, so it requires basic minimum configuration. So it is not more than the intercompany sales functionality. You along with the configuration you have in the EC system, you also have some additional efforts to be done by the consultant, like maintaining the in-transit plans. Okay, let me show you that in-transit plant also. SM30, you have SM30 view here. If you click here, for each plant code, you have to assign one single transit plant. So this plant is not mandated that is available in the physically. You can also use the virtual plant code, which is to run the transactions. Okay, so we have to ensure that this plant code should be available with the all the required master data like material data, and it is extended to the relevant views for the customer, vendor, wherever it is needed. Okay, so like that. Yeah, you can see the list of entries here. Okay, so it will give you with the different processing stages, and let me take the completed stage and help you with the other significant changes and the identities which you have to take. Okay, here for each step, SAP has given one codification. If you see here, for the customer sales order, it says that it is a SOSC. If it is an outbound delivery, it is ODDC. Okay, if it is a purchase order, it would be a POIC. So we have to make a note of it. Okay, for any quick understanding, and this would be helpful for ease of process tracking. Okay, so where exactly you are stuck, so this will help us. Okay, like CIIC for the intercompany invoice, and for the customer invoice it is CISC. So likewise, for each phase, system has created one codification for each process. Okay, so that is how. And maybe yeah. Mm, what else is there? And let me show you the other case. For example, when you create a sales order, you don't enter the other delivering plan. System treats it as a, let me enter the 1401. Okay, so if I enter the direct this plant, right, the selling company's plant, then system won't show you up this in transit plan, since it considers as a regular or order to cash cycle. Maybe it would be a domestic export, which is happening within the same entity. Okay, if you enter the other delivering plant, only then it will appear in the screen in transit plant. Okay, so this is how we have to maintain, uh, and we can track the complete process here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Hassan. I think
Yeah,
we can.
Suresh, I can. We have few more questions from the attendees actually. I can quickly
Okay.
go through those questions as early as possible.
Okay.
Can we reverse the invoices if there are any user mistakes?
Okay. So it's a usual thing only, na. So as a human being, we are bound to make some mistakes, right? So in the same way, the user may commit some mistakes. In that case, so we can reverse the activities. So like if it is a intercompany sale invoice or else a customer billing. So whatever the transaction in which the user has committed any mistake. So in that case, you can reverse the transaction. So with reference to that, system reverse the corresponding entry in the background, or else it will highlight what has to be taken care. Okay, maybe you are trying to create a cancel the customer invoice. For that, system first checks the intercompany invoice. Only then it will give you some information that this is the following document which has to be taken care first. Okay, we can do it, but there are some certain prerequisites which has to be taken care by the user. Yeah.
Nice. There is one more question. Can we use the existing intercompany sales document types for the advanced intercompany sales?
Yeah, good question, Kiran. Okay, so if you look at this, okay, so as I mentioned that, so there's no change for the end user perspective, right? So because he is trying to use the existing documents in the S/4HANA system as well, so there is no change or any new document type to be introduced with respect to the old intercompany sales process. So additionally, we have taken some other documents like, so SAP has created another sales order right in the background. Let me show you that. Okay, so this is the intercompany sales order, which is new thing, but end user won't work on it. Okay, system will create. Sorry, is that the one I'm looking at? Let me go to the path. It is 39, right? Okay. So this is the new order type with which you end user won't work. Okay. So this order will be created in the background. Okay, as a reference document in the selling company. Okay. So this is the additional thing, and this has to be taken care by the SAP consultant, not by the end user. Okay. So this is the setup which has to be taken care by the SAP consultant in the background. So once the setup activity is completed, then system starts creating the intercompany sales orders and the intercompany purchase orders in the background. So as you can see, this is the new order type which has been given by the SAP, and this is the new item category CBIC. And if you look at the purchase order, let me go there. So this is the new purchase order type, which is NBAI. So as to create the purchase order from the selling company to the delivering company. Okay, these are the two new document types given by the SAP, and these are a completely background oriented activities, and there is nothing to do with the end user, and you can make use of the existing documents in the S/4HANA system as well. Yeah. Any other question, Kiran?
Yeah. Uh, Can we create follow-on documents like supplier invoices manually?
Yeah, we can do it, but there's a precondition. If at all you want to create a follow-on documents, like you have a created a customer intercompany billing, however you want to process the supplier invoice in the background manually. Okay, if you do that, the supplier invoice won't be updated in the monitor value chains application, and you won't be able to have a track of it in the fear application. So this is one prerequisite precondition which we have to ensure it. Yeah.
Right.
Any other question?
What if there are any errors while creating Autumn?
So as we have seen in the before starting the Q&A, right? So here we would be able to track each and every transaction with its status. Okay, so by looking at the processing stage, you will get to know whether it is in a pending stage or in error stage. So you have to click here, and if there is any error, then you have to make sure that the background activity is completed, which is causing the issue. You have to complete that activity, then you have an option called reprocess. So you have to click on here, then system, the monitor value chain sphere application, communicates with the SAP system, and it tries to reattempt the process. Okay, once the issue is resolved, then the status will be updated in the application. If it is not updated within the time, then you can click on reload button here, so that system will fetch the latest status of it, and it will set the appropriate processing stage here. Yeah.
The last question, what is the purpose of transit plant in the advanced intercompany sales?
Yeah. So far we are just the main agenda of the advanced intercompany sales is to realize the complete process in the selling company and the delivering company, right? Okay. So in this case, there is no any physical dispatch from the selling company. However, the activity is initiated in the delivering company. So delivering company is able to make its inventory accountings, right? Whereas in the selling company, there's no such inventory accounts to be realized in the ECC system. Whereas in the advanced intercompany sales, by using the in-transit plant, you can make the inventory accounting entries for the audit perspective and for your internal tally perspective. Okay. So in that case, you can use the in-transit plant code. By using that, you can make the purchase entries in the goods receipt, and you can make a goods issue to the customer. So far we used to have a entry. Now, if you look at the classic intercompany sales, the goods issue to the customer is taken place in the delivering company. Now here there are two goods issues. One is in the delivering company to the selling company, and from the selling company to the customer. So this would be ease of IFRS standards. Yeah.
Yeah,
Any other questions, Kiran?
as of now, no, Suresh. Thanks, thanks for your webinar session.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, then, yeah, sure. Let me stop presenting it. And guys, if at all you want to rewind this, this session, you can go to our YouTube channel, which is Increasal Sales, and this video will be updated by maybe by the next day or maybe in 2 days. If at all you want to, review that again, you can go to that YouTube channel and you can see that videos there. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for your time. It's time to wind up. Thanks, Kiran and
Thanks,
Hassan, for
Suresh.
joining this and assisting me. Thank you. Bye bye. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Thanks, sir. If you need any more assistance, you can feel free to reach us at info@increasol.com. Thank you once again.
Yeah.
Have a great day.